Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to DevChatter. Today is Tuesday, July 3rd, and as I'm sure you can already tell from looking up in the other corner of the screen up there, like way up there above me, we have a pair with us again. His name is Simon, and since I put that information on there, that's about all the information that I'm going to introduce about him, and I will let him now tell you a little bit about himself.
Sure. I don't know how much exciting stuff there is to talk about. Well, my name is Simon. I'm a developer of sorts out of Calgary in Canada. I work on a wide variety of stuff. I was thinking the other day what I've worked on this last year, and I've worked on everything from serial port drivers to Android applications to web applications to highly distributed systems to Linux stuff, so all sorts of different random things. But today, I'm going to chat with Brendan.
Yeah. So I noticed a bunch of people saying hi. Hello, everybody. Hello, Rubik's product official, Ace Flameseer. Welcome. Go ahead and get settled. And as you guys probably guessed, Simon's another like C#, ASP.NET guy, Microsoft MVP type individual. You're still an MVP, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I even have a shirt. Hold on.
Oh yeah, see, there you go. Okay, so I talked to Simon about what he would be interested in working on this project, and the thing that he said was the chatbot, and he took a look at our issues, and he noticed that we have one in here that is for time zones by city, and he thought this one looked interesting. So right now, what we have in our bot, I'm going to go ahead and show everybody in the chat section, so if you take a look over there on the side, if I use the schedule command and I pass in a time zone for it, so a time zone offset. So my time zone is UTC -4, so that will spit back the correct time for me. But the problem is, I have to know what my time zone offset is in order to do that. So it's useful for developers, which is, you know, okay-ish in this chat room, but it's not all that great everywhere else. So we want to be able to do something like this. What would you say, Calgary?
Yep, that's a real place.
Yeah, is it, where's
not like it? Australia.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it doesn't know where that is, and I can't say like schedule London, for example, and I can't say like schedule Berlin. No, yeah, or oh, that is not how you Cologne. I thought there were umlauts and a K in that. But anyway, so the point being,
we gotta look this up somehow.
Yeah, exactly. We need to actually pull some useful information here. Thanks, Rubik's. All right, so I did one quick Google to find if there was a time zone database. Simon also asked a really good question. What was your question right before we started, Simon?
I was wondering if the stuff that existed in Noda time would be sufficient for what we wanted to do, but I don't think it is. Like, it'll have time zones like based on the special codes, but I don't know that it has cities per se. So I just think about it because I'm in like North America / Denver or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that to me supposes even more knowledge than just knowing the UTC offset. So that's probably not going to work.
Yep, that makes sense. I think it has a whole database of time zones, so we could find an equivalent one. So if, for example, we did the time zone selection feature where we instead had them do something like this, where you do like schedule and then say like CDT or schedule, CEST, for example, for Central European Summertime. If you do one of those, so Central Daylight Time, Central European Summertime, those are correct, but if someone by mistake asked for Central Standard Time or Central European Time, those time zones aren't actually active right now. So that sort of thing. So with this, by asking by city, we don't run the risk of someone asking for the wrong time zone. So city is the really nice one, because if we can just look up where you are, then you just specify what city you're in.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully there are no cities that have 2 time zones in them. I mean, time zones are just about the most messed up thing in the world, but I don't think there's any city. I'm wondering, now I say that, I'm wondering about Istanbul, maybe, because it's on 2 continents, but I think it's more of a north-south division than an east-west one.
If we run into a situation where the 2 time zone city causes a problem in our application, I will be thrilled by the usage of this schedule. Just saying.
I don't know what your viewership is like in Istanbul, but
I don't know either, actually. I don't think I've had anybody chime in and say that they're from Istanbul. Refresh. Someone says the stream is offline for them, which, pro tip, if it ever says the stream is offline, just refresh the page and it should come online. It usually means you were here before the stream started and Twitch didn't refresh for you automatically. But I do notice a whole bunch of people showed up in chat, so welcome everybody. Hello, get situated. Okay, so do we want to take a look then at...
yeah, let's take a look at this. I mean, ideally we want an endpoint where we can give it a...
It said it had an API.
Textual representation of a place, and it'll give us an offset for us.
Okay, so basically all I Googled here was time zone by city API. And this came up as a free option. So that sounds good. So first off, I am actually wondering, can I just hit this and what's it come back with? Okay, so I need to pass a key. All right, so I have to actually set up an account for this, which I can do. Get time zone. So that's get a specific one given Latin alon. Wow, or a zone
City name. City name is on the
yeah. Okay, so get time zone should work. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So this endpoint should be all we need. So I'll register an account off the screen, but looks like we can ask for JSON, which would be good. Fields, country code, country name, region name, city name, zone abbreviation.
Yeah, this is just what's coming back in response.
Yeah.
So really we're most interested in probably zone. We might just have to experiment and see what comes back.
So here's an example.
Right. So that's got a GMT offset there, which looks like it's probably in seconds. A couple up from where you are, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's got to be seconds, because that can't be.
Hopefully not years.
Well, it can't be minutes.
Although, yeah. I know that America is a long way behind Europe, but probably not 21,600 years.
No, probably not. I mean, occasionally, but...
Like 150 years.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that sounds good. That ought to work. So let's go ahead and click that register piece, and I will register that. Do you have this open on your screen also?
I don't, but I can provide humorous commentary while you're filling it in the background.
Sweet.
So I know right now Brendan is typing in his email address.
No, I'm not. I'm going over and I'm opening up the command that we're going to be messing with. And then I'm going to open up our app settings.json file that we're going to manipulate. Okay, now you can continue on explaining what I'm doing over here.
Sure. So Brendan's typing in an email address. For those of you who aren't aware, email addresses are a form of communicating online. I believe the E stands for elephant. And it's because elephants never forget. So you've got to be really aware that when you send an elephant mail, it is going to be on the internet forever. So it's important that you are nice and pleasant in your elephant mail. And that, because it's possible it's going to come up at some point later in life when you're running for parliament, if you have parliaments, if it even matters what you say, I guess, when you're running for office anymore. He's also going to put a password in. His password is going to be a password, but the A is going to be replaced with an @ symbol. And I think probably there'll be an exclamation mark at the end of that too. So that satisfies everybody's password complexity requirements there. Capital P, of course, for the capital letter, a couple of special characters in there. And it's almost completely unguessable by any algorithm known to mankind. I don't know what else is on that form. Probably his weight in parsecs, which seems like a weird unit of measurement for weight, but parsecs are totally legitimate units of measurement of weight. You just weigh all the stars that happen to appear in that parsec out to a distance of 5 million AU. And so it's usually a pretty, I wonder if it would actually be a pretty small or a pretty large decimal, I guess, depending on if you happen to encounter a star at all on that path. All right, so I guess what we're going to need to do here, the reason that the app settings file is open, I'm guessing, is because we're going to need to put our secret key in there. We, of course, don't want to put the secret key in the file itself, because then we'll check it in by mistake, but that's what user secrets are for. And probably we'll end up putting a URL in here too. Although I don't, I guess I've been sitting in this place lately where I'm wondering how much stuff needs to go into configuration files and how much stuff can truly be hard-coded. If deployments are really simple, then it makes me feel like maybe we don't need to put so much stuff in configuration. But here we go.
So timezone DB API key is what I'm going to put in here, and that is just going to be a string, but here I'm going to write the word secret. Now the reason I'm putting the word secret in there is that's a nice indicator to me that the actual value is in the user secrets file. So rather than like having it just be blank or something like that, where I'd be like, wait, is it just not filled in? And when I put in the word secret, that just means I have the real value over there. So I don't use the word secret ever as a password. I use capital P, then an @ sign, and then SSW, and then a 0 instead of the O, because you need a number, and then RD. So that's actually most secure password that you can use. So let me go ahead and copy that. I'm going to put that over here. So my secrets.json file, just so you guys know, it has these same values right here. It has this exact same structure, but then I just put in the real values. So that's literally all that's in there. Yes, I just gave you all the password. Congratulations. You can use this account to, that's not actually the password, but also you could then use this account to look up time zones, I guess.
Nefarious actions could be done.
Yeah, clearly.
I'm pretty sure that this is going to be like a read-only API. Don't think you can submit changes to time zones through it.
I really doubt that you can. Okay, so I have updated the user secrets file, so it has the correct API key, and all I did to register for anybody that is going to set this up on their own at some point is I just went there, registered an account, and they send you the API key as soon as you do that. All Rubix, that's brilliant, using the V instead of the W, double V instead of a W, that tricks them every time. Right. No one could crack that.
I see there's questions here in this chat. Is this like the sort of thing where we answer questions that people have?
If you see a question in chat, go ahead and answer the question.
Sure. So the question was from W2F Blub. What would you use for secrets in production? I would tend to use environment variables for that. It's kind of the lingua franca for deployment these days. So if you're deploying in a Docker container, or you're deploying out to Azure App Services, or you're deploying on AWS, all of those support environment variables. So it's a really simple way of putting it in there, depending on how secret you wanted this to be, and you're deploying maybe to like a cloud provider. Both AWS and Azure, and I assume Google too, have a kind of password safe thing. On Azure, it's called Key Vault. So you can put things in there, and that way they're secret and encrypted even from the developers.
Yep, it's a nice trick for that one. And it's basically in the configuration of the .NET Core config access that you basically just tell it the different places that it can look for these. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, the really nice thing about this stuff is that it falls back, so you can kind of override variables, which is, I imagine, what you have in startup.cs is you are pulling stuff from the configuration file, and then you're going to pull stuff from user secrets when you're running on your local machine. And in production, you just put another kind of shim in there to go out to the environment and pick it up from there.
That would be the idea, yes. Okay, so we have timezone DB API key. So that ought to get us set up. And because this configuration file is already pulled out automatically, we will get that value when we run this. So, okay, so how do we want to test this piece and connect to that API? I'm going to pull the API back up here. So for this one, we pass in the key as a parameter.
Yeah, does it mention how we pass in as a parameter? Is that a get
they
parameter?
Gave an example, passing, yeah, see, so they passed it as, yep.
Perfect.
Copy. All right, so there's our example. So someone calls our schedule command is basically what we want to try. When they call this, we look to see that they gave us a value. This checks to see if it parses. If it does not parse correctly, it checks to see if it's in range of that value, and then yells at you if it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to want to change that because we now accept something that's not a number.
Right, so we want to probably maintain accepting a number. So we probably want to parse that first, and then if it doesn't work, we fall back to a city. Because otherwise, we'll accept -1 as a legitimate city name, probably.
Yeah, so let's try this first, and then we'll say, let's see, offset equals 0. So let's fix this up a little bit. What was this lined up with? That one? So that's this whole piece. So that is attempting to parse out the int. Was is valid integer.
Sure.
Okay. So we're saying if it's not a valid integer or it's one of these ones, go in here and send this message. Thanks for the spaces there, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Just changing over keyboards here. I have a really obnoxious mechanical keyboard, and I have a slightly less obnoxious mechanical keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
So I felt like if I was going to type, I could give you the treat of the less obnoxious one.
That's actually why I use one of these things. This thing is like super quiet. So, I mean, I type loudly already, so if I used a loud keyboard, I would, anger everyone.
It makes me feel good about myself, though, because I feel like even if I type really slowly, it sounds like I'm a fast typer.
And, hey Max, how's it going? Whoa, wait, hang on. Are we over the Canadian quota right now?
Two Canadians? Yeah.
There are 2 whole Canadians in this stream right now. I think... Welcome, Max. I was just kidding. I think we are allowed to have 2 Canadians, but if there are any more in the chat, please just let us know, because then we're going to have to do some kind of death battle and figure out, which one gets kicked out.
Wow, it's Maxine.
Yeah. Actually, I think there's only... Simon, are you still doing the monsters thing with those guys?
Yeah, we just published 2 videos in the last... Well, we published a video last week. We recorded another one. I don't know if it's been published yet, but we took a little bit of a break from it, just out of sloth more than anything else. But we're going to get back into it now.
Okay, I hadn't seen much from you guys lately. So, Simon is one of the .NET monsters. If you have not heard of .NET or ASP.NET monsters,
yeah. Monsters.
Yeah, I called you the wrong thing. I'm a terrible friend.
perfectly excusable.
Yep. Oh, a dance-off. That's even better.
I feel like I'm going to lose that, but I'll give it a shot.
All right, I apologize if this causes debugging on your screen, on your computer. VS Live Share is still in public preview, so who knows?
Oh no! All your attempts to hide the secret key have failed.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, luckily I can reset it. That's hilarious. Good job. Error on the line number that. Failure. It happens. It happens. Rip. Let's try that again, but with less failing. That's true, Blub. At least it wasn't my credit card. I don't use my credit card on stream, so that's good. Yeah, we have a bunch of Scandinavian people that are here. We have a bunch of Germans too. It's pretty common. All right, so it does. So I just wanted to make sure everything was still working, and it is now. Okay, so API timezone db get timezone. So this is the string that we want to have. So I'm thinking that if we get in here, this is where the outer range is. For now, let's let it settle, and we can refactor to fix this up later. But this is where, well, actually, how about we out of range only if it's one of these?
Yeah, this feels like maybe if is valid integer is true.
So, yeah, we'll do the true one, and we'll set the offset if it is. Right?
Well,
otherwise,
we probably don't want to do that if it's outside of our plus minus 18 range still, right? So if it's a valid integer and it's less than 18 and greater than negative 18.
And less than 18, and I'll fix that in a second, and greater than minus 18. Ah, good. You're on it. Thank you.
Yeah.
If we type on the same line, it gets really weird. Okay, so hopefully everybody's loving the ridiculousness of having... sorry, Max. One sec. Max used the Fritz command, so we're all supposed to wear hats, so hope you brought one there, Simon.
Totally didn't bring a hat.
Hats on,
Nobody
everybody.
told me about hat. I got like a lens cleaning cloth. That should probably work, right?
Yeah, that'll be a good fake hat. There we go. So someone used the Fritz command, so we're gonna have to do our best Fritz impression. So there we go.
Just love it. People are going to join the stream midway through and see me wearing this.
Yeah, I really hope someone recognizes my hat though, because this is a very, very unique hat.
A very unique hat. It's not simply a unique hat. There are degrees of uniqueness.
Yeah, I don't even think Fritz owns this one. So Fritz owns like 500 hats or something like that, and I don't think he has one of these.
That's a lot of hats. Does anybody refer to him as the Mad Hatter?
No, but we will now.
All right.
Fritz the Mad Hatter. Okay, so in our else here, so this is the case where this was before, is right here. However, we want to adjust it a little bit. Right, if it's that and this and this and this, we want to say if it's this, if we're in this case.
Right. Then we'll put our out of range message in there. So if it is valid and it's either greater than 18 or less than minus 18.
Which we're going to want to adjust this as well in a moment. If it is valid and it's valid and this or this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Then we take this. I think that's right.
Yep, put that in there, and then
feels
this
like
is
the
just
sort
an
of
else.
logic that could use some unit testing.
I believe that logic. I believe that's all unit tested. Here, go ahead. You type.
Yeah. Well, we'll run into it at some point soon here, right?
Yep.
Then we want to do.
Plus, the really nice thing. So one of the big things for anybody that doesn't know, one of the reasons why you want a unit test is the fact that you can run a lot of unit tests faster than you could run it, right? So your unit test can verify and make sure everything. But I have like 30 some unit testers here in the chat right now that when we push this command out, immediately try all the things like schedule 1000 and like schedule 5.2 and all the other craziness. So they're like you know, non-automated unit testers. See, there's Max right now trying it. Okay.
All right. So we've hopefully still preserved the existing functionality, and then we're gonna start building out the new one here.
Yeah. So yes, plus or minus 2. That's great, Blub. Thanks. All right. So down on this one, this is where we check to see if it's a place. So I almost want to like else if this one also. Unassigned local variable.
All right, because it's possible that we've got in here.
So in this, we at the end of this, before this finishes, we need the offset set to something. Set this from the value we get from API.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is the basic API key. I'm going to put it down here as a string, but we'll extract it as a field in a minute. Rip. Hang on. I apparently lost that somehow. There we go.
Cool.
Okay, so we have that. Let's extract out. Yeah, throw a $sign in the beginning as well, if you would please. So this is our API key. And what is it?
Yeah, we pulled that in from somewhere higher up, right?
We're going to have to... Okay, so we need access to the config, and the only way we can do this is by... Oh, did you actually break something, Max? No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, you did. Schedule 12. Yeah, congratulations, you broke something. I don't know how that worked. Okay, so we need our key in here. So do I ask for the key or do I ask for the configuration? Bot. What? Isn't it bot configuration?
Yeah, there is one called bot configuration for sure.
Yeah, it's right here.
Now, do we need
but I can't get it there. No. Yeah, I can't get it there. Because I put it in that. So it's just a string. I can't ask for a string. So this is, I need to put it inside of a type. So we're going to go here.
We can't just ask for the entire bot configuration? You feel that's a little bit too much?
Well, I put the bot. Well, I guess I could just move the bot configuration.
So well, I think you're probably in a good place there, in that it should be in a separate thing.
Yep. So let's go ahead and just set that up. So inside of core, do I have a setting somewhere? I don't. So I'm just going to put it in the root for now, and then we'll figure out where it goes later. So this is timezone db config for now. So I'm not thrilled on that being in core, but I don't have another good place for it just yet. So this value here then needs a prop that is a string, and this is the timezone db API key. That's what it was called.
Good job remembering.
What's that?
Good job remembering that.
Yeah. Now to actually put that, I'm going to adjust my secrets file and then get that one. Feel free to use that value from timezone db config. Just add that to the bot config and I will anchor to you. So if you add that to bot configuration, it should work.
All right. So we're gonna change this out to a time zone db config. Looks like I just picked that up. See what that is.
Config. There we go.
I get a red squiggly line, but it might just be that it's just in the root of core probably. Let's try that.
There we go.
Okay, good. And then we'll call this something creative, like exactly the same thing we had there. Everything else is called settings, so I'm kind of tempted to call it settings, but I don't know what you called it. No?
Yeah.
All right, config it is.
No, I called it config, but let's call it settings. You're right. Let's call it settings. I will rename this. You rename that.
All right. Boom.
Sure. We'll say yes. Hope that got the other one. There we go. Looks like it got it. So now I'm going to adjust that over in my file. And then I will adjust that in the app settings as well. So in app settings, this API key now gets wrapped in this. So we take this, move it up into there. What? No, over there. There we go.
You probably want to lose that comma at the end.
Yeah, that one. And then that should be good.
Yeah. Yep, looks good to me. And you already updated it in the same way in the secrets file?
Yep, should be updated over there.
That on that.
Yep, looks correct in the secrets file. Okay, great. So let's jump back over here. And we should be able to just include it now. So add those settings here on the right line.
So is it just, we call it timezone db settings?
Yep.
We'll just generically call that settings for now.
Sounds good. And maybe make it a field so we can have access to it.
We could do that. Good spelling.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to mess with the startup file. So timezone db settings. Timezone db settings. We get a full bot config, and then I am going to add timezone db settings. So that's now in our startup file, and that ought to make it so that when we run this, it'll automatically dependency inject in these config settings for us.
All right. Now, is it sufficient that we just pass in the settings here? Do we have to pass in an options of this settings?
Shouldn't.
I can't remember where that landed now.
You do have to do that if you don't explicitly put that as that settings file as its own object in there. And so since I actually put a singleton of that file in there, it's just going to use that. So I sort of cheated.
Okay, so we've got the API key here, and then we probably want to change our format to JSON. Everything's JSON these days. And then I don't have the API here, but I'm just guessing that we can do city like this.
Wait, hang on. Did they do it that way? What did they have in there?
Well,
zone and zone.
So there's a thing called by. If you scroll up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Probably a little bit further than that.
By. Zone.
Okay, so city is a premium lookup field. All right. Well.
So we have to do zone because we don't want to pay for premium. So.
Well, we don't really have a way of converting cities to zones, so that's what we were hoping this API would do for us.
The question is, can we get a city by a position then?
So position, yes, so latitude, longitude. So if we had another API that allowed us to convert a city to a latitude and longitude,
then we could get away with it.
yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna look Rubik's if it's basically nothing, but we'll see what premium is.
Tens of thousands of dollars, I assume.
As low as $5 a month, but what does that actually get you?
Well, it gets you priority support, no rate limits, unlimited API lookup queries, and most importantly for us, getting time zones by the city name.
Am I signed in? No.
It doesn't look like it.
That's funny. Because I signed in. Yeah, it could be worth it.
I'm just reading back through the chat here and seeing what Maxime was up to with how he managed to get that seemingly valid thing to be invalid. He put in a 0 width space in there. Sneaky.
Thanks, Google.
Well, that Stack Overflow question is good. Free service get latitude and longitude by city name. Google will do that for you.
But did they charge you for that one?
Well, it looks like there's a usage limit, but it's unlikely that you're going to run into that. Well, until Maxine gets a hold of it again.
Python, Go client, no, blah, blah, blah. But they should just have an API, right? Yeah, okay. Looks like they do.
So, do they even have a key there? Can we just give them a request? That would be fine.
Well, let's find out.
Cliquez pour copier.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's odd that some bits of the page are French and other bits are not.
Yeah, that was a little weird. There we go. Click to copy. That sounds better. Wait, is Max still here? Max could have translated for us, right?
Yeah. Max can explain to us why the French feel that they can just use the word copier. You can't just say it with a French accent and use the English word.
Yes, thank you. That's useful. Okay, so then we pass in our API key. Now, what does this cost? Do they have pricing on here? What do you got? Pricing. You must first activate Clamp to obtain your proper credentials. You can then provide an API key in your request. Okay. Usage and billing. There we go. Quotas. How much free do I get? You no longer support keyless access. You'll need to enable billing on each of your projects. Okay. That starts soon. It's free, Rubik's.
A few weeks ago. $2,500 free requests per day. 50 requests per second.
Wait, this is until that date. They have the following limits. What do they have after that?
All right.
Requests per day limits are ending. That mean they no longer have any free ones?
Looks like you can set your own limits in the console, but it doesn't. New pricing. Oh, there we go. Well, looks like you have a $200 credit each month. And then as long as you don't use that up, which I can't see you doing.
For each billing account for qualifying Maps platform SKUs, a $200 Google Maps platform credit is available each month and automatically applied to the qualifying SKU. Oh, they give you a credit, so as long as you didn't go over $200 a month. Weird. Okay, well,
Mhm.
yeah, we could try the Google route also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we could do that. We'll just couple two APIs together, and away we go.
Yeah, Rubik's. That sounds like that's how that would work. All right, so let's try this. We'll see if we like this one any better. It sounds nicer.
Well, it's possible this API will do everything for us. I was thinking that we would have to like couple the two APIs together, but I'll bet you.
Yeah, if we've already got this one, I
Timezone.
bet it's going to get us time zone. Let's go ahead and do this then. So, what is this? Get started for the Maps platform. Maps gets us API. Do we need routes? We don't need directions.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Places. Current place. That's the one we need. We need places, not maps. Okay. Places. New project. DevChatter bot. I agree to your terms. You guys saw me. I read all of those very carefully.
And very quickly, too.
Yes. I read fast.
With.
I'm a developer. That's how we do things here. I live in the United States. Do not send me information about whatever these horrible things are you want to send me. Yep. That sounds correct. Hang on while I do things on here. Things like those. They seriously have my credit card already? I don't know how they have that. That's terrifying.
They have everything.
It's Google, though. They probably were just like, hey, we noticed this one time. We figured we'd keep it for you. You know, like you typed it into Chrome.
All right, so I'm skimming through the documentation here. It looks to me like the geolocation API wants a latitude and longitude. It takes a location, but it says it's a comma-separated lat-long tuple, representing the location to look up. So we might still need to use two APIs here. There is a places API, which maybe works. Place search.
Oh, Rubik's, to answer your question, yes, I am standing. I'm amazed that Simon isn't walking with us, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a bit noisy on the treadmill for this sort of a endeavor.
Alright, so we're going to call this one Google Cloud API Settings. Maybe it's Google Cloud Settings. Google Cloud Settings. There we go. And then like API key. Okay, so I added that over there. Now let's jump over here into app settings, where you guys can see again. Congratulations on your ability to see what I'm doing one more time. So Google Cloud Settings, and then we're going to make this another object, and we're going to create API key. API key is going to have a value of secret. There we go. Looks good. And I already have that in my secrets file, so we should be all set there. And then I want to open up this, I think. There we go. Okay, cool. So in theory now, we can use that key to call this.
Right.
So let's go ahead and I assume you are typing in here. Sweet.
So this is the places lookup URL, I think. So we need an API key here. No, you're already on top of that. So settings.
Yeah, I'm going to get us a Google Cloud settings object instead of the one we had before.
To populate, and then we're going to need another one here, which is going to be a
rename file.
geolocation.
Okay, so now in startup I should be able to adjust this as well. So there it is, and Google Cloud settings. Bot configuration now gets this also. There we go. Okay, so bot configuration, startup, and app settings have all been updated. Are you using the new, and then, yep, there we go.
Yeah, alright. So
can we look up Timezone from Google without looking up the place first?
it doesn't look like it. So
Okay.
this timezone lookup URL takes a latitude and longitude, and this place lookup URL gets us a place, or the latitude and longitude. So in here we put like whatever our search string is, which is what? Vent args arguments. Well, that seems like it could use some extracting.
This is developer guide, available parameters. Location, lat long tuple, representing the location to look up. Yeah, you're right. Wow. They don't have city. That's really weird. You guys don't find that weird? Man, that's weird.
It's all about coupling APIs together, right?
Yeah, Blub, I did agree to let them sell my organs. That's what you do when you agree to any terms from Google. And Max, I believe he did get renewed, actually. We're talking about him while he's up in the corner.
Yeah, I did.
Your July 1st renewal, I assume, then?
I think everybody's a July 1st renewal now, isn't it?
I don't think so.
No? I thought that they synchronized all the renewals to July. Because I never used to be a July renewal.
Oh, maybe they have moved people around. I used to be January 1st.
All right.
Oh, wow, Max. I didn't realize that, so they adjusted for this year. That's weird.
Yeah, there was a lot of chatter about people not getting renewed this year, but it was largely because there were more people up for renewal. All right.
So we need to get the Latin lon from this.
Yeah, so whatever the response from that is, then that's going to go into here as latitude and longitude. Timestamp, I don't know what that is. Is that necessary?
Are you using the geolocation one or the geocoding one?
I'm using, I don't know what it is. Just one called Timezone.
Well, there's place and then there's time zone.
Oh, right. Yeah, I looked at places.
Places API. Okay. Place search returns a list of places based on user's location or search string. Okay. This gets us back a list.
Right.
That's probably about the best thing we can get.
I think so. It seems reasonable. The nice thing about this, too, is it'll allow people to be a little bit fuzzier in their lookup if they're going to misspell Cologne.
Yes, exactly. Although, interestingly, it wasn't really misspelled. He just used the English spelling instead of the German spelling, which is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing that I want to tell you guys all about this because you're going to love this, the non-Americans in here. There is actually a place called Versailles, Kentucky, and it really is Versailles. It's not Versailles, it's Versailles. So, yeah, WorldWake, we're gonna grab the time zone for the place. That's the goal.
The one that gets me is that if you're driving between Seattle and Vancouver, you have to drive through Vancouver to get to Vancouver. Because there is a Vancouver on each side of the border.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, if you're in the United States and you want to go to Portland, just make sure you get the right one also. Because there's one on each coast. Because there's Portland, Maine, and there's Portland, Oregon. And they're both big cities with airports. So don't go to the wrong Portland airport. You will be on the wrong side of the country.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with a really naive approach to just getting the
Hard
response
coding in an
here.
HTTP client. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so people, if they have read my blog, will know all about the perils of directly using HTTP client. There is a new HTTP client factory that I should be using, but we will get to that. So let's just take place, lookup URL. Okay, well that looks like it's happy, so let's wait that, and then we'll probably have to do a pause on that. Let's figure out what we want.
Offset. Okay. Oh, okay.
Wait up, oh, not with an asynchronous method here. Oh, this is probably going to break everything now.
It's going to break everything. That's why we're not async yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I have been holding off on doing that because as soon as we hit that async button, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and go through like 30 files changing it.
Okay, so don't do this in reality, people. Don't use .result. Use await.
Yes, you should use await in most ways. This isn't the worst thing to do. You just then don't get your async out of it.
Yeah.
You then just synchronized it, so you don't get the value of being async. It's not terrible.
I assume that there we go. You actually don't have a reference to Newtonsoft in this? This
What?
is amazing.
What? No, it's right there.
Oh, I have on mine. It's trying to add a reference to the DLL. So
Shouldn't.
Cool. All
I
right.
just added it up top.
Perfect. I'm always impressed. Like in any project that manages to survive more than a couple of hours of development without getting Newtonsoft added to it.
Actually, our project went quite a while before we had to bite the bullet and bring it in.
All right, so deserialize object.
Man, when I click that button, I was gonna mess up everything, but that's fine. Let's continue on for now.
All right, let's get even more fun here. Get.
No, yeah, Universe Silver, you're right. It's not as big as the one in Oregon, but it still shows up when you do like an airport search for Portland in the U.S. So JSON.NET is the first library you include, Blub. First library I end up including when I do a project is usually like either XUnit or like fluent assertions or something like that. It's usually my test library before anything else. But then I actually don't usually explicitly include JSON.NET because the web project usually gets that one by default, and then eventually I have to throw it in somewhere that's not a web project.
All right.
So we pull out the response, deserialize it as
something right now. We don't really know what it is.
Yes.
So I don't know what this returns. This must just return like an anonymous object. So
yes, this just returns an object.
Can we get away with just calling it a dynamic?
Technically, yeah. I think you can, and then you can just call whatever you want on it.
Response is a variable, but it's used like a type. Okay. I have no idea what comes back over this thing. Let's jump to the documentation and see if I can find that. Places API. Place search.
It wants me to have a reference to Microsoft C# DLL and system.core DLL, huh?
Yeah.
In order to use dynamic.
Probably don't want to do all of that.
So hang on. So we're doing a place search. Let's take a look at what the XML is that it gives us back. Do they have an example here?
Yeah, I'm just hunting through for it here right now.
I can't type sometimes.
Okay, yeah, there is an example here. Okay, so it comes back as an array of candidates. Yeah, if you look right there,
Yeah.
so it's got a formatted address, but it's got geometry, which is probably what we want. Viewport, I guess, is probably a bounding box for whatever that structure is.
Yep, that's the bounding box that they display the window on.
Right, so latitude and longitude geometry is probably what we want.
Yeah, so we want geometry lat long, and then it's weird. It pulls back. It gets you the photos stuff if you wanted that. So the following is okay, that's nearby search. This was, which one's this? Find place?
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Which I think is what we're doing. So let's copy this, and then what I am going to do is...
Ooh, are you going to create a class from JSON?
Yeah, I was going to do the, like, what is it? It's...
Paste as JSON or class, something like that. Paste, yeah, XML is class.
Wait, paste. What? Why? What? Isn't JSON another option? I thought JSON's another option.
Should be.
Hang on. Let me make a class first. So I'm going to make class 1 here. There it is. I don't know why the other one wasn't there.
All right. Well,
okay.
Added all sorts of cool stuff inside.
Yeah, so I don't want this class to actually exist, so let's get rid of that. There we go. So, if anybody hasn't actually seen what I just did there, I had some JSON on my clipboard, and I said paste as classes, and it actually creates all the classes for you, so it's quite convenient.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And CMAX.
All right, so there's probably a bunch of stuff in here that we don't need.
Yeah, Yimo 2001. This is what we usually do on here, but we do some educational streams like the one my last two as well. So, okay, so what was is the root object the one that we had first? Is that what that root object must be what it is? So this is actually what we get back.
I like the word envelope for this.
So let's change the type. So when we do our deserialize object, what is this? Deserialize object like this.
Yep.
And that makes that one of those.
Yeah, it messes up the rest of our stuff, which is good. So now we have some strong typing around it.
Okay, so here's what so while you're doing that, I'm going to mess around and get these classes into the right spot. So I assume you're going to grab the value off of that you want?
I'm going to give it a shot. Geometry.
So
location. Latitude, all right.
So location API, let's move it into here.
What's that rule that I'm breaking here? You're only supposed to dot into one thing.
Oh, you're breaking whatever rule all of solid is, I'm sure. Fetty, greetings. Hey, we are connecting to the Google Places API right now. Okay, so move that to its own file. Move that to its own file. Move that. So I'm just moving each one of these into their own file. So if you watch on the Solution Explorer over there on the side, you'll see that new files are appearing for each one of these classes. That is super weird that they've got like northeast and southwest as the values here. I assume because that's like the corners of the bounded box that they're doing around the viewport.
That makes sense to me.
It's just funny. It's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, just pick those. That's fine. And now I want to rename this class that we're in. Did that not rename? Wait, no, don't rename the class. What am I doing? Rename the file. There we go. Okay. So now all of those are in their own files.
All right, and as soon as you've done that, I think we're back to, we got to go and find the next response and do the same approach on that, paste it as JSON.
So the only values we use out of this are the lat lon. So I want to extract this whole thing as a method. See if I can get back the lat lon there.
Sure.
Let's see what it does when my tooling does this.
It'd be nice if it used tuples as your return type.
Yeah, I'm not sure it can figure that out this way.
All right, so you're going to run into a little bit of a problem here because of the HTTP client. So because I've reused the client,
and then I'll do this.
You might want to just, move that down a line. Perfect.
So we'll accept that as a parameter.
Great.
Now let's see what it wants to do. So we're going to take a look at method. So it takes in client, it's considering the latitude to be the return, and the longitude is coming out as an output
parameter.
So I'm not going to worry about that. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to go the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to step down and make a method, and I'm going to call it, we're going to call it get latitude and longitude. And I'm going to have this return a tuple to you, so why don't you adjust that one from the calling point, and I will change the return here to be latitude followed by longitude. And those are floats, right?
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
We'll find out what they are in a moment. Okay, there we go. So this needs to take in the client, which should be an HTTP client. There we go. Now I just need to return this. So this is a tuple, which is a new concept to C#7. This is like an actual tuple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return, we said latitude first and then longitude. So make sure that yours is doing the same one.
Yep, the right way around. Latitude, longitude.
Wait, this is a nullable of t? What? Float. Oh, because you did the question mark dot.
I did first with default in there.
What do we want to do if we don't have one?
I think we should probably just fail.
Okay, so we're going to do dot value on that, and then dot value on this, and I'm going to do like an if lat has value and lon has value. So if they both have a value, we'll return, and if not, we're going to throw an exception. What do you? Well, it's weird to throw an exception.
I kind of want to return some sort of an error, but it's. I guess we could just catch it and assign it, maybe.
Yeah. What kind of exception? We don't have an exception type for this just yet. I'm going to make an exception that is lookup not found or place not found.
Sure.
Place not found exception. So go ahead and catch one of those if you would.
Sure.
You should find that type, I think, now. And it's really kind of amazing that that works, to be honest. Because I throw one, you catch one, and we should be good. Okay. Let's see. There was a question in the chat. Do you have API key? Yes, I have an API key for it, and and push Alt select class move to class. Yeah, I could potentially. Question: does the fact that C# is compiled make it faster in release mode than in debug mode? Short answer: yes, usually.
Long answer:
yeah, it's complicated and weird, but yeah, usually it does. When you pronounce it tuple, I can't stand it. I pronounce it as tuple. Wait, what? Which one? As in a short A. So yeah, I use tuple and tuple both interchangeably, with the goal being that I've pissed everybody off. So like everybody's mad. It's just much better that way.
That's interesting.
So,
I take a similar approach, except I just pick like a way out in left field pronunciation.
So you go with like a taple?
2P?
2P? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
To play. It's a to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're right. If you're going to make people mad, you might as well make everybody mad.
Oh, Blub, yeah, we could add a success value to that, but then the challenge is, yeah, so then I could do the default value. That'd be the other option. So we could just add a success on there as well, lat long and a success.
Yeah, we could. That's probably a better approach than throwing exception.
Yeah, let's do that. That just gets long, though, but...
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the code lens was actually going to appear where it does there. That's weird. Fix that compiler error, man. That's getting weird.
Yeah. It's amazing what one errand parenthesis will do.
It really is, to be honest. Okay, so what do I want? I want to return default float. And false. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Blub, I do actually really like the new tuples in C#. Oh, you never saw the old ones. Yeah, so we now have tuples. We used to have tuples in C#. And they were actually just a class, and they had like item 1, item 2 were just properties on them. So it was legit just a class. It was terrible. Probably like the lamest implementation of that you could possibly get, and it didn't actually do construction or deconstruction or anything like that. So the new tuples are actually quite nice. Okay, so when we have this, we need the lookup value as a parameter as well. So that's the other thing we need. So client and the lookup. So that's string lookup. Which, there we go. How's it look up here?
Looking good, I think.
Deserialize as we don't know what this is.
That's right.
Don't we, though?
Well, we just don't have classes for it yet.
Oh, yeah, we don't have the classes. Yeah. Okay. So that gets us our lat long. We pass in those two values. And then this one, we're going to do probably the same thing and pull it into a method as well. Nice. Wait, unknown city isn't... Oh, yeah, no, that's good. I like it. Okay, so that's location API. I guess we'll make timezone API. Maybe we call this Google API.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. So we'll put all the Google API stuff together. Hopefully there aren't any overlaps on this data. If there are, I will put them in folders. Okay, so the next one we needed was timezone. That's the one that we do here, timezone.
Yeah, that's right.
Sample response in JSON.
That looks a lot easier than what we had before.
Yeah, that looks simple. Looks a little too simple. I don't know what to do with this.
Well, you'll probably have the excitement here if it's going to try and name it root object again.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we run into that, then we know how to fix that. Edit, paste special, paste as JSON. Oh, yeah, root object.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
All right, so let's name it something else other than root object. What is this? Timezone response?
Yeah, Good.
There we go. So that exists. Which actually is a good point. We should rename the other one off of root object to something like, what was that, place? Place
yeah.
lookup response.
Yeah, that's good.
Should have just renamed that out from under us here. Place lookup response. Well, why did it lose candidates?
Interesting.
Wait, ambiguity between what two things? Those are the same thing. What's it smoking? What in the smoke is it crack?
Interesting. I wonder if maybe when you did the rename, it didn't manage to delete the old folder or something like that.
It's a good question. Let's take a look. I will open up File Explorer and we will step up one level. No. It's not there.
I don't know. Oh, it might just be a hit build and see what happens.
Wait, root object's still here. Okay, that's the problem. Alright, now hopefully that file's actually dead. Let's see if it compiles. Yeah, I know, I could have nuked everything, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm worried that, what do we got here? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. Okay. What was the older alternative to... Hang on. Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Pimblack, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. Are you guys using VS Anywhere? If yes, is there something like it for VS Code?
Oh, I'm using VS Code right now.
Yeah, so he's in VS Code. I'm in Visual Studio. We're using VS Live Share. Seconds in a minute.
I already mean hour there.
Why don't we just use what is this? Why don't we just hang on. Well, it's alright.
What do you got? You got some cool way of doing that?
Time span.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. From seconds?
Yeah, equals time span from seconds. And then we'll just take this and put it in here.
Yeah, it's good. I can get rid of all that.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, why are you doing that? So he was going to convert and just like, oh yeah, blub. Why not time span? Yeah, exactly.
Never occurred to me. That's good. I'm going to use it from now on.
That is actually one of the things I'm always telling people here on the stream. Actually, is like, so first off, while we're on the stream, we our brains don't always work. We don't always think of things. But it's not just when we're on the stream either. Like developers always don't think of things. That's why pair programming is so good, because we forget we'll forget an obvious thing that exists. Like all of us do, and it's like, yeah, the other person's just gonna be like, wait, why aren't you just doing this? I was like, oh right, yeah. I forgot it was a thing before. What is this, by the way?
That's an unhappy face.
Well, oh,
I mean, look at that line of code. That's terrible.
All right, let me do this then.
But you gotta sort it out.
What makes me
cry.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I agree. At one of these days, so there is actually one of the issues on the backlog, which you could have chosen, was go back through and async all the methods, so that because we use await only in the places where we didn't then have to go to every single class that existed in the entire project and change them to async. Oh, that is good. That is nice. There's
we can put emoji in now.
Yeah, thanks Visual Studio. The most important thing is putting an emoji in your comment.
I'm glad that they spent the dev cycles supporting that and not the dev cycles like fixing something else.
They could have gotten me better information on a null reference exception, but instead we can use emojis and have emoji variables
You
because
know what they could have done? Like at least they have put some effort into that null pointer exception or null reference exception. What I would love is string or binary data would be truncated, fixed.
there are a lot of things that could get fixed. So by the way, for as much as we bash .NET Core and C# and all that kind of stuff, I will still tell you it's better than a lot of other options. It's not like like
Let me tell you, as a person who's working on a JavaScript project right now.
I was working in Java like 6 months ago, so that was fun too. Everything has its problems. They all do.
So you got lambdas now?
Yeah, Yimo. Twitch viewers all get the chance to fix all of our errors and tell us when we mess up. It's really useful, actually. Okay, so we got that time spent in hours, unknown city. Do we think this is going to work? Is that everything? We should pull that into a method, but I kind of want to try it before we go any further. Yeah. Python has no problems. Yeah, right. Yeah, none. I definitely wasn't on a developer's stream yesterday where she was ranting about how much she dislikes Python. Totally not. Everyone loves it. It's the best.
I would love to just have like an easy way to print out a data frame. That would be nice.
All right, let's see what we forgot. Because this is the like ta-da moment right here. We did a whole bunch of coding. Let's see if it works.
I don't even know how this does work. Like, what's the integration here?
All right, not making this mistake again. Let me just pull this over here. Not making this mistake again. Interesting. I can put that back on the stream, I think. It is in it's the same thing. It's a secrets.json file mistake. What is the problem? Google Cloud settings. Oh yeah, that would be a problem. Yeah, no, that's totally a syntax error in my JSON file there. So that is entirely legitimate. It errored correctly. Although it didn't show the API key, so that was useful. So even if I had put it over on that screen, I would have been fine. But yes, there are not happy little bugs, happy accidents, Sky Hoshi. Happy accidents. So happy little features? Yeah, they're happy little features. Happy little unintended features. Yes, thank you for the Kappa Ross there. Okay, so this maybe works-ish. Let's see what happens. So first off, I'm going to do the classic schedule -4, and then schedule New York. Wait, no. Oh, I might have to have that in quotes.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it does its parsing.
Nope, we're not getting that. It's probably crashing. So let's go ahead and go to the schedule command. We'll see what happens. We're going to debug this. So this is going to go poorly because I'm going to debug with, a trigger point that people in a chat can actually cause it to get hit. It always goes great, let me tell you. It always goes great when I do this. All right, so my argument should be Cleveland here. Wait, what's my lookup value? Cleveland. Okay, good. Hang on. I want to jump down to. About here. Now I'm going to try stepping over this and just see if we get the lat mon value. Oh, nope, exception.
All right, what do we got? No. Oh, what?
Wait, what? Oh, no, because we're not past that line yet. Okay.
Okay. Parameter name source. Okay, so this is the first or default that's causing us a problem. So we used that somewhere. Where did we use that?
All right, so let's just zip out of here for a second. Let's hit that again. Yeah, hang on a second, Sky Hoshi. I'm gonna try that again, and now let's go to where that exception was again. Okay, so we're here. Let's step in, and then what do we want to do? I want to jump down to. You're thinking it's the first or default that we grab here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So if we jump down to the see what the response looks like.
Yeah. So line response in our immediate window.
Null status okay though.
Candidates, no candidates. All right. So hang on a sec.
Nothing in the debug log.
Yeah. Sorry guys, got to pull that off the screen for a second. And the reason being that I actually want to look up what this value is, and well, I'm totally cool with Simon temporarily seeing the value, I think.
Oh,
putting it out on a video on the internet is quite another thing.
I'm going to do so many reverse lookups against stuff right now.
Oh man, yeah. Imagine all the stuff you could do. It'd be crazy. You could get so much work done.
See, I think the trick is that instead of like looking up a lot of stuff, I just look up a very small subset of things, like locations in New York, and then like locations in Syria.
Yes, that's a great plan. Yep. So query was, oh, actually when I just run this query, I do get back a bunch of results. So there's something weird with the way that we do our response. But what I'm going to do is this. Let's stop this. I should have a better response now than we had before, but I lost it because I did it over there, but I will get it back by hitting this. There we go. Okay, so without pulling that onto the screen for you guys to see, what do we have? Okay, so I'm going to get us our new values. So that was a place lookup that I just... No, that was the other lookup that we just did. So the place lookup will remain where it is, and I'm going to get rid of all the other ones. I'm going to paste these new again. Let's get rid of that. So, sorry, those are going away.
I feel like that wasn't the right one.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the right one. Well, that was dumb, Brendan. Way to fail, man. Let's get all those back. Restore. Hey, they're all back.
Time zone response is the one you want to
Everything
keep.
except the time zone. Yeah, that's the one. So keep time zone, get rid of all the others. There we go. Okay. Add class. That's not the class I wanted, but sure, we'll make class 1. Get rid of this. And now I'm going to go copy the returned JSON from the legit call that I made to the actual API. Go on here, paste special, JSON as classes.
Alright.
And instead of root object, we called this place response.
Yeah, okay, so this looks like there might be another layer of indirection there, that there's a results array that we weren't taking into account before. Or result is maybe candidate now?
Okay, so jumping back over there into the schedule command, yeah, so, oh yeah, place lookup response is what I called it before.
Yeah, it's called results now.
Yep, so there's a results array.
And then looks like everything else still works. It's just candidates is now results for some reason.
So thanks, Google, for the updated documentation. We really appreciate that.
All right. Well, but that's good. So that was a pretty easy thing to fix, in theory. We're probably good to give it another try.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna try it without debugging first, and if it works, cool. If it doesn't, then I'll debug it.
Brave.
Look, I got confidence, man. It's called confidence. Some of us are used to, our code just working the first try. So this is the first time that we're trying this. We didn't try this a moment ago. Definitely not. So schedule command works. UTC. Okay, wait, hang on. But so it did call it. We just didn't set the offset. We still set it to 0.
Okay.
No. It's still. I think we're just assigning it to. Oh wait, time spent hours. No, we did set it. Okay.
All right. So we might have to debug it. Everything is UTC 0. It's like the Babel version of everything.
So we'll try running it again.
Babylon.
Uganda, thanks, Flameseer. Is that where you are? Why do I have a feeling Ace Flameseer is not actually in Uganda? Okay, so this is what we get back. Time span from seconds. So what did we say this was? 0.
I wonder if this might be the same sort of thing, because that's just a default value. DST raw offset. Oh, maybe we should be using that.
Oh, there's two. There's daylight savings time offset and the raw offset.
Oh, okay, right. So,
yeah,
does that mean we need to know what the...
I don't know, but let's try it. Let's try this and see what we get.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try that one now. That was weird. That was either thunder or someone has gotten started with the fireworks. So for anyone who doesn't know, tomorrow is when the United States celebrates its independence, and that means we blow up our country with everything we can.
I think it is really good of you guys to celebrate the biggest mistake that you ever made. I really think that's big of you.
Yeah. Yep. Schedule Cleveland. UTC -5. Uh-oh. That should be UTC.
Right?
No, it's not. We need the daylight savings time adjustment. See, because that did UTC +1. So we're currently UTC -4, and Berlin is currently UTC +2. So it's not adjusting for daylight savings time right now. So let's take a look at that response that I got again. How can I show you guys my response? Actually, let's see. So, oh, this was the place. Sorry, we want the time zone response, which has status. I wonder what the status is. Where's that API documentation again? Whoops. Time zone? Status? Okay, alright. Oh, time zone name. Oh, look! DST offset and raw offset.
Yeah, but how's it 0?
That's an hour. That's 1 hour in seconds.
2? Does that make sense?
No, but we're supposed to apply this. We're supposed to apply this offset. So we should add the 2, but ours came back as 0. Remember, our DST offset came back as 0. But it shouldn't be. It should have been 3600.
So there was an additional parameter to this, I think. If you scroll up, we didn't send. I think you could send it a timestamp. So we're not passing any timestamp right now. So it's possible that it's defaulting to like epoch or something like that. So maybe we need to send it the current time as a timestamp so it knows what to calculate it from.
Specifies the desired time as seconds since midnight. Timestamp location. Hang on. DST. Okay, so we get back the DST offset. This will be 0 if the time zone is not in daylight savings time during the specified timestamp.
Right. Okay.
So our timestamp is what we need to specify.
Yeah,
Clearly.
we do have a timestamp in there, but it's just a random value, so we should take that out.
So it should be set. So we want to set it to today.
Yes.
Yep. So we just need a date time dot today. And how's it written? What is that? Is that just like a number of ticks or something?
Second since epoch, I think it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's just kind of funny that that's what they want. Okay. We can do that. And I assume we want to do that for UTC.
Yeah.
So datetime dot UTC now dot.
And then I'm just trying to figure out how to do time. Okay, it looks like you can do date time offset. So if we do.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Datetime offset dot UTC now.
The 2 Unix times seconds. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so let's try that and see if we got it so that this schedule function actually works the way we want it to. Yeah, that's thunder, not people blowing up the country. So that's the clouds blowing up the country, not the people that live here. So schedule Cleveland. Come on, what do we got? UTC -5. Oh, we didn't add them. We didn't add them.
Oh, that's true. Right.
Yep, we didn't add them. So that's fine. So this is the raw offset time span. So I'm going to rename this to raw offset. And then the next one, so I'm going to duplicate that line, and this is going to be DST offset.
You could probably just add them both together inside of that timezone response.raw offset plus, like inside the from seconds.
Oh yeah, you could just add the two values. Yep, good call. All right, so this is offset time span. And then for this, we want to do that, and then plus this and DST offset. So, and that should always be like a number of seconds, so adding it should be fine. So there we go. Let's try it. Let's do this. Let's all go to Cleveland. Or at least see what the scheduled time is in Cleveland. Schedule Cleveland.
UTC
-4. Perfect. Schedule
Okay.
Calgary. That gets you there?
Yep, I think that's right for UTC 6 right now.
Yeah, that sounds right. That's pretty awesome.
Cool.
Nifty. Let's mess with stuff real fast. This may kick you out, Simon. That's why I didn't do this a long time ago. So if you get booted, I'll reshare you in. Yep, that's gonna do that. I think you're gonna get booted out, so don't worry about it. If it happens, it happens. Get stash. Oh, I forgot to dash u that. Get stash dash u.
What's the dash u do?
Unversioned files, so ones that aren't known about. Without that, it will only get the ones that are already versioned. Sorry, everybody, I already turned that off. So.
Good try.
Yep, bot's already off. Alright, so now I want to do a git pull. We're going to grab the latest version because I didn't pull that down. Now we're going to see if anything breaks. We didn't mess with anything that should have broken, so that's why I wasn't too worried. If we went into something that I thought was going to have a merge conflict, I would have been like, let's wait. Wait, what did this? Oh, I really didn't have the Newtonsoft. See, you win.
Oh, look at that. Cool.
Yep, but because I think it pulled it based on a reference and not actually NuGet packaging it there, so I'm going to undo it and we're going to add it the right way. So see, it never made it into my core project.
Oh, I see. You say add it the right way, and yet here you are using a GUI to do it.
But I'd have to go down and click in the package manager console, and I only use the package manager console for EF commands.
Which of course makes total sense.
Yeah. What I meant to say was I don't like using a command line, says the guy that just pulled up command to do his git commands. You know, don't worry about that. No, guys, I turned off the bot. Did you guys not get that? I turned off the bot so you can't call my API right now. The other thing that we're going to want to do is see if we can get it to like cache those for a while in some way. That's probably going to be the next thing that we're going to have to add to this, so that looking up the same one twice doesn't cause a problem. And maybe reset it on does everybody switch their daylight savings time on the weekends? Any country not do the weekends for their changes?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
I think everybody does it on the weekends, but if someone does, because if they do, then we could just make it so that it resets, you know, when like it caches until the next weekend.
I worry that while people might change it on the weekend might not be the same everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to shift. So what I was thinking is you save it until Friday, and then you don't necessarily cache it over the weekend or something like that. But
right, but I'm saying that I don't know that everybody's definition of the weekend is Saturday and Sunday.
Well, yeah, but that's my definition of weekend. Wait, hang on. Are you telling me, Simon, that the world does not revolve around me? Hang on, I'm confused. I'm confused.
Just for this one minor thing.
Oh, okay.
Everything else.
Okay, for everything else. All right, that's good. I was worried there. Okay, jeez, that'd be crazy. Whew. You had me worried. I was like...
all is good.
Yeah, whew, man. Crazy talk. All right, let's make sure it still works. So, yeah, we're bringing the bot back in, everybody. Schedule. Yep, that's right. There we go. Sweet. Oh, Neko. Welcome. Hi. Hello, everybody. Yep, there you go. There's Uganda. And whatever other place you want to look up.
Yeah, you guys should try something. You could do even more specific things, like putting in your address. That would probably work.
Yeah, if you're going to do your address, though, make sure you get your full name, your date of birth, any credit card numbers that you have, and so stuff like that. So, Antarctica, that doesn't even make sense.
Is there only a single time zone in Antarctica?
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe you'd want to have only a single time zone in Antarctica and just kind of go with it, because it's, you know, a really weird spot. So, there you go. Schedule command is pretty darn awesome now. One more thing before we update that. To see the schedule, just type in schedule. To see our schedule, just type schedule. Followed by either a time zone offset or a city name. Example, schedule -4 or schedule Cleveland.
Well, I don't know if it found Atlantis, but it certainly found the time zone in which Atlantis exists. So that narrows it down.
Dude, guys, our bot is very smart. It might actually know where Atlantis is. I would just trust it. If it says it found Atlantis, that's where it is. That's actually because WorldWake looked up the schedule the moon. That's what you actually want to... Oh, well, it still doesn't know where the moon is. So, yeah, the way the argument system works is if you put it in quotes, it'll treat it as one argument. So if you need, like, New York, for example, and you got to put in, like, schedule New York. So, yeah, schedule moon doesn't work either. Maybe it's Luna. It's going by the moon's name. That could be Luna. Anyway, I'm going to stop the bot for now so that we don't kill it with testing that, you know. Sorry, Ace Flames here, I just cut off the bot real quick. Okay, so that ought to give us nice examples of those. Let's go ahead and get this committed. So that added it as a package reference, so that's what we wanted. We now have Newtonsoft JSON in there. And actually, you know what I realized after doing that, Simon? that was foolish of me. I need to go make sure that our other Newtonsoft JSON reference was the same version. Consolidate. Oh, nope. Nope, it wasn't. It was. Cool. That's actually pretty awesome.
That's surprising because that gets released very frequently.
That's what I was thinking. Like, he updates that all the time, so...
Yeah, I mean, considering that it's a library that pauses a static file format, it's amazing that it's on version, what, 10 or 11 or something now?
Yeah, Rubix, you got caught by AutoMod. Yeah, he's on a pretty high version on Newtonsoft JSON. I assume he does really tiny version numbers so he can update all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Our schedule as the time zone. Yeah. Rubix, so that's an update that we're definitely going to want to make. You are absolutely correct. We are going to want to say the time zone instead of just the UTC offset if we looked up a place. So whatever their current time zone is. Which actually, do they say that in that response? Is that in the time response? Time zone response. Time zone ID. Time zone name. There it is.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So we could pull that instead of the offset value when displaying that. So this could be computed as the value. So if this is its own string instead of that part, so let's pull this as a string, and I'm going to call that string foo, because foo is the best name for all variables. We all know this, it's science. It was studied by, I believe, a German scientist that found that foo was the optimal variable name. And welcome, James. Okay, so this is what is this? Time zone display.
Sure.
So I'm going to move this up towards the top for now, and this is not ideal, but I don't have a great way to do this just yet. It doesn't want me to set this here. That's fine. I'm not going to. I'm going to take this, and when we set the offset, where do we do that? Offset right here. We're going to set that, so we'll make this an empty string for now. And then down below, in this one, this is where we get the time zone response. We are going to set this to at something. And what is it? Oh, actually, maybe we should say in.
Yeah, time zone response dot something.
Yeah, time zone response dot.
Time zone name.
Time zone name. How long is the time zone name? The long one though.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be like the human readable one as opposed to the time zone ID.
Is that like 3 letters though?
No.
This is the 3-letter one?
I don't think either of them are the 3-letter one.
Really?
Yeah. Because the 3-letter one's very imprecise.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's try running it. James, prepare to be amazed. You showed up just in time to see awesomeness. Hang on.
There you go.
Our usual schedule in Korea Standard Time is that. And our schedule in, Toronto, which we all know is the capital of Canada.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, and it gets the correct thing when you do numbers. There we go. The question is, did it get the right one for... Is that the right one for South Korea? Yeah, totally is. Because 3 a.m. and he did +9, so cool. There we go. Nice. So looks like that looks up pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it. Sorry, Ace Flame. That is hilarious. Ace Flames here keeps trying to do that one like right when I close the bot. Devil23, welcome. Yeah, so that's pretty cool that it actually gets that. Yeah, sorry everybody. I just the bot left. See, it says it left. It told you when it left. Cool. So let's commit this. Adding. Whoops. Whoa. No. We're not committing this until we get our branch, Brendan. We're gonna say, what did we do? This is schedule by city.
Nice.
Publish this, and then this is adding Google API lookup for time by place. Lookup for time by place. Sure. Sounds good. Dang it. Actually, let me undo that. Undo that. Hang on. Add a co-author. What are you on GitHub? Stims?
Yeah.
Let's see if it found you. Search for user. At Stims. There we go.
Seems happy enough.
Yeah, I think it found you. So cool. Let's push that up and see if it did. Welcome, Mubin is my guess based on that second name. Because the first part I was not going to be able to pronounce. Any one of you two uses programmer Dvorak? I do not use Dvorak.
I tried once, but...
Devil, the popular C# IDEs are Visual Studio, and some people use VS Code, and there are a few people that are now using JetBrains Rider, but that's about it. There are a couple of other places that you can use it, but none that I know of that are all that popular, other than those three.
Oh, that's true. MonoDevelop. And there's a Visual Studio something on Mac now too, isn't there? That's what MonoDevelop became.
Yeah, Visual Studio for Mac, I think, is basically they took all of the tools that they'd ever built for doing any kind of .NET development on Mac and grabbed all their stuff and made it Visual Studio for Mac. I got the impression they started from that as the base and then added in stuff they had in their other tools. So it was like, hey, we have this Mac code, let's put it all together, and boom, we have a thing.
I have not heard anybody say anything about it in terms of if it's good or bad.
I've heard of people using it, and I then didn't hear them complain a lot, so I don't know. I haven't tried it.
No, me neither.
Most of the people I know that are on a Mac are using VS Code because it works well enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to jump over here and create a pull request for this. And we could always make changes if we need to, so schedule by city. Hey, look, it's you and me.
Oh, wow,
it got us.
Cool.
Yeah. So if anybody didn't know you could do that now on GitHub, you actually can. They support pair programming finally after, like, you know, many years of us asking them to. We'll call it a win. Okay. Adding Google by place. See, co-authored by Simon, right there.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice. That actually looks really good. I like the way they did that. Very cool. Yeah, and that took us 2 hours, which is usually about our time that we do the show. So.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah, that was good. So anything else that you want to do, say, anything like that, Simon?
I don't think so. I'll be interested to see if this passes. We didn't make any changes to unit tests, so we'll see if we get away with it.
Yeah, if we get away with it, awesome. If not, then that just means that one of these days I'm going to pull up my laptop and fix unit tests. But that's what these checks are for, and then I am going to make some random person who is willing to help us and is awesome, help us review this by taking a look at the code, because you and I did some terrible things in there, and if someone points them out, we will fix them. We only did a couple of terrible things, and if they're easy to fix, we will get them. If they're hard to fix, we will debate fixing them. So
That sounds good.
cool. So first off, I want to say thank you, Simon, for hopping on here and joining us coding today. Everybody should go on to Twitter right now, and first off, you should follow Stims. So at STIMMS, written right up there. And I realize I need a Twitter command that lets me tweet shout out you guys, because I can't like get a link to your Twitter posted in chat by just typing in your @whatever. So I need one of those. Kind of like how I can like shout out other streamers like C# Fritz, for example, that I could just do a shout out command that it'll post a link so people can go over there. But either way, follow him on Twitter, and you can find him on the internet. What is it? AspNet Monsters or something? AspNet Monsters?
Yeah, I blog there, and I also blog at blog.simontims.com.
So, what we've now had, I think I've now. So everybody, the awesome thing is we've actually gotten all of the worthwhile AspNet Monsters on the show as guests.
Excellent. Now
I need to clip that and send that to the one monster that hasn't been on here.
So we have a bit of a running joke between us that there's only 2 ASP.NET Monsters. Usually it's me that's excluded, and it comes in all shapes and sizes. When we were at MVP Summit, Dave and James were talking to Richard Campbell, and he said, look, there's both the ASP.NET Monsters.
It's pretty good.
So we have a running gag that I either don't exist or possibly I am dead and just don't realize it in a
that could be
sort of way.
But I just left out Dave, so I thought that was nice.
That works too.
Yeah. So consequently, these guys actually like ASP.NET, so I think you guys kind of probably figured that out. But check them out. We like them. They're cool guys. Well, at least 2 of them. Anyway, James, your question. Tomorrow is a holiday in the United States. So if anybody in here is in the United States, please have a safe and happy July 4th, and do not harm yourself with fireworks. That is the day that we eat terrible food outside and shoot off fireworks. We scare all the Canadians because we're crazy. Oh no, wait, that's every day. But yeah, so that's the plan, and we will be back on Thursday for another stream. And yeah, so I know I didn't thank anybody that followed today, but if you did, thanks for stopping by and following the channel. Much appreciated, and we will definitely try and convince Simon to be back on again, because he's fun and we like him.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice coding. Let me go ahead and kick him out before he breaks all the code on the machine, and I'm gonna click that too. So Simon is no longer breaking my computer. So that that dude is horrible. Oh, okay. So. Sorry, Simon. Looks like one of our viewers doesn't like you, so never mind. We probably can't have you back. So
okay, well that's fair.
And yes, Janisku, you are correct. I believe James has actually been on 3 times, because he is actually 3 of the 4 ASP.NET Monsters that matter. And so now we've had Simon on, and we've had James 3 times, and that works out perfectly. Although, to be fair, the 3 times that James was on, 1 time he left early and 1 time he showed up late.
You know, with James, it is not impossible that he's literally off saving a kitten. I have been in meetings with him where he has to stop the meeting and go and get a kitten out of a tree.
One time he actually canceled on me. He was going to be a guest on the stream, and he canceled because he had to drive to the border of the U.S.-Canada border. So I don't know what he was doing. Probably trying to get in here illegally or something. we don't allow Canadians to come down here because, unskilled labor laws and things like that,
Yeah, definitely James falls within unskilled labor.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, if anybody doesn't know the schedule, you should have used the schedule command when the bot was live and running, and you could have found out the time zone, but done a lookup and found it. But if you didn't, take a look down below, and you should find our schedule down there. So our schedule, for those who don't know, we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so 4 times a week for a couple of hours each time. We are not going to have a stream this Saturday. In fact, we're not going to have a stream all of next week either. And then we will be back the following week. And you can actually find all that information out on our DevChatter stream info section. So this right here, which I will paste into the chat for anybody who wants it. But you can actually find our schedule here. And you'll notice that we even have, for the week that we do return, some things scheduled already. So including our Learn to Code stream again on Monday, so that'll be another educational one for beginners. And then we're going to do an application security stream with Bill Sempf, and he is going to help us hack a very poorly made site, so it'll be fun. Simon, you are welcome to come back as a viewer also. You don't just have to be a guest, but we do like having you as a guest.
I've never tried this Twitch thing before, so I'll probably do that. Yeah,
it's actually pretty fun. So thanks everybody for stopping by and chatting, testing out the bot, and hanging out. It was fun.
Indeed.
So, all right, bye everybody.